Welcome to Global Kids online lesson. I am Ukot Geoffrey, a basic technology teacher. Today we'll be looking at the topic geometrical construction. And under that we have triangles. We are going to be talking about triangles today. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define what is triangle, identify triangles, and be able to construct any type of triangles. You should also be able to inscribe and circumscribe circles in any given triangle. Now let's look at what triangle is all about. A triangle is a plane figure bounded by three straight lines with three interior angles. The three straight lines that form the triangles are known as the sides of the triangle. One of the sides in geometrical construction that is horizontal or nearly horizontal is known as the base of the triangle. Now we have a figure below here. If you take a look at this figure now, you see that we have three sides. Okay? One side here, you have another side here, and still another side, giving you three sides of the triangle. Now, apart from the side, you can also see that we have three interior angles. Also, remember that interior angles are those angles that are inside a triangle. Okay, whenever we talk about interior, are those things that are inside, while exterior are those things that are outside. So, making reference to angles now, interior angles are those angles inside a triangle. Okay, you can see we have A, B, and C, as the interior angles of this triangle you have here now. Now, if you take a look at this now, you see that you have two angles here. Okay, these two angles are connected to this line that is horizontal here. Now, this horizontal line, like we said earlier here, is known as the base line. Okay, this is the base line, and it's horizontal or nearly horizontal when we're talking about geometrical construction. Now, if you look at the baseline, you see that you have two angles connected to the baseline. These two angles, A and B, are known as the base angles. Okay? Now, you still have another angle at the top here, that is angle C. This angle C is known as the vertical angle. Take note of that. It's known as the vertical angle. Okay? Now, if you look at the drawing again, you see that the distance from the base, remember this is the base line, this horizontal line. The distance from the base to this vertex or apex. Remember, you've been told before that triangle have three vertices or vertices. Okay? So this is one of them. You still have another one here, and you have another one here. Okay? Those are the three vertices we have in a triangle. Any triangle must always have three. Now, the distance from this baseline to this vertex, don't call it vertex, you can call it apex. Okay, as you can see here, is known as the altitude. Okay? If you don't call it altitude, you can call it the vertical height of the triangle. Okay? Take note of that. So, remember, you've been told in your mathematics that the sum of the interior angles in any triangle must give you 180 degrees. And if you want to try that, you can just draw any triangle. Make sure that the sides are straight. Draw any triangle on any piece of paper you have around. When you finish drawing, pick your protractor and measure each of the angles. When I talk about the angles, the interior angles, just like we have here. Okay? Measure each of the angles. Like angle A, write it somewhere. What is the value? Measure angle B, write it somewhere. Measure angle C and write it somewhere. Then at the end, you total the sum of the three angles and you get nothing less than 180 degrees. Alright. So now let's take a look at types of triangles. Triangles can be classified either according to the sides of their angles or the sides of their sides. Okay? What do I mean by that? If you take a look at what we have here now, you see that we have acute triangle, which is a type of triangle. In this type of triangle, now what is most important, we are looking at the angle and not the sides of the triangle. If you look at this angle here, we have 75 degrees, the upper angle, that is the vertical angle, like we earlier explained. These are the base angles, which we have 70 degrees and 35 degrees. Okay? Now, this is called acute angle because none of the angles is greater than what? 90 degrees. That's to tell you that all the angles, as you can see, are less than 90. None of those angles are up to 90 degrees. Now, we still have another type of triangle here, which is the obtuse triangle. We call this obtuse triangle because one of the angles is greater than what? 90 degrees. As you can see, this vertical angle is 125 degrees. So you see that it's greater than what? 90 degrees. And we'll call this obtuse angle. Okay? Now we still have another type of triangle here, which we call the right triangle. If you don't call it right triangle, you can call it right angle triangle as we always call it. Okay? Now if you look at this now, you see that one of the angles is exactly what? 90 degrees. Okay? This symbol here represents what? 90 degrees. So whenever you see a symbol like this on any plane shape, you should know that that angle is exactly what? 90 degrees. So a right angle triangle is that triangle that have one of its angle as what? 90 degrees. Now, all this that we've talked about now, when we are classifying triangles according to the sides, according to the size of their angles, okay? All these three now, the acute, the obtuse, the right angle triangles, when we are talking classifying a triangle according to the size of their angles, okay? You see what we are talking about? All this one is just angle. We are just looking at the angles. We didn't talk about the sides, okay? So, but when you look from D, E, and F, where you have the equilateral triangle, scalene, and isosceles triangle, you see that we're making reference to the side and not the angle, or maybe both the sides and the angle. Now let's take a look at the equilateral triangle here. Okay? You see that in the equilateral triangle, all the angles are equal. Okay? This symbol here tells you that all the angles are equal. If this, all the angles are equal, and also all the sides are equal too. If you look, if you have this as A, B, and C, you agree with me that AB is equal to BC and is equal to AC. Okay? So this symbol is simply telling you that all the sides are equal. Okay? The same way, since all the sides are equal, all the angles must be equal too. Okay? Just like when you divide 180 by 3, you are going to get 60 degrees. Alright, so let's look at the next one here, which is scalene triangle. Now if you take a look, we still have a different style of symbol here. You see, you have one here, you have two here, you have three here. That's to tell you that none of the sides are what? Equal. Now, a scalene triangle is simply a triangle that have none of the sides to be equal, okay? And the same way you can never have the angles being what? Equal. Are we together? Alright, let's go to the next one, where we have the isosceles triangle. Alright. Now, if you take a look at this now, you compare it to the other symbols you've seen in the equilateral and scalene triangle. You see that we have another pattern here too. You see one here, you have two here. That's to tell you that one here are equal, while the base line is not equal with this other side. Okay? So we say that isosceles triangles are those triangles that have two sides equal and two angles equal. Are we together? Alright. So that is all about types of some examples on the board. Alright, the first one says, using a pencil, ruler, and a pair of compass only, construct a triangle ABC with AB 60 mm, BC 35 mm, and AC 64 mm. Okay? And that is just one part of the question I. Now, the second part of the question here, which is sorry, said we should inscribe a circle to touch the three sides of the triangle. That is that triangle we are going to construct. Alright? So we are going to look at the first question here already. We are going to construct it here. Alright? So remember, you are asked to use only pencil, ruler, and a pair of compass. You are not expected to use your protractor. Okay? Because you are going to show all construction line. Take note. Alright, so when you are going to start any construction, especially those ones that have to do with triangle, first of all, make a sketch. Okay? You can make a sketch to see what you're going to have. Alright, maybe something like this. You just, here is your AB, here is your C. So you have your AB as 60, you have your BC as 35, and you have your AC, that is AC here, as 64. They are all in millimeters, okay? Alright, so with this now, you've gotten the basic, alright? So you can start with the horizontal line. It's always advisable you start with the horizontal line, okay? So you start with the horizontal line. You can see that this is the horizontal line, AB, alright? So you pick your ruler. That's when you are working at home or you don't have a drawing board. But when you have a drawing board, you can make use of your T-square, okay? So you pick your ruler, place your ruler, make sure that it's horizontal, okay? Then you draw an horizontal line, okay? Something like this. It doesn't matter the length of the line, just draw an horizontal line, okay? So when you're done with this, since this is our baseline, which is this line AB, okay? So you pick a point as A. The first point serves as our point A, that is this point, okay? And since we have 60 millimeter here, okay, you can use your ruler. Alright, where's my ruler? Alright, so after drawing the horizontal line, you pick a point A, which you are going to start your construction of triangles, okay? So since the distance from A to B is given as 60 millimeter, alright, so you pick your ruler. You can choose to use your ruler directly and measure from 0 to 6, that is 6 centimeter, which you can also convert it to 60 millimeter, okay? So, which is 60 millimeter, so you measure from 0 to 6, that's when you're using a ruler that has centimeter. If you have a ruler that have millimeter already, then you measure from 0 to 60, okay? So we are going to be assuming some of these dimensions, since we can't really use the ruler on the board there, alright? So let's assume that we have from here to here as our 60 millimeter, okay? You are going to measure your own on your ruler, okay? So you take the distance on your ruler, maybe using your compass. So you take, after taking the distance, remember this distance I have now on my compass is 60 millimeter. So you place it at A, alright, and make an arc, a little arc, alright. So this point that you cut on this horizontal line becomes your point what? B. Alright, and you can, if you measure it with your ruler, you find out that this distance from here to here must be 60 millimeter. Alright, so let's continue with the other side. Since we are given side BC as 35 millimeter, you can start from the point B to C. Okay, since you already have B here. You just measure 35 millimeter on your ruler. So you carry your compass again, then you start from 0 to 35. Alright, let's assume this is our 35 millimeter, okay? So when you get that on your ruler, you place it at point B, alright, and draw an arc. Alright, you can see that is an arc. Are we together? Now, we've gotten an arc of C, alright? So the next line and the last line is line AC, okay? And line AC is given here in our question to be 64 millimeter, okay? So you also do the same thing. You pick your compass and take the distance on your ruler, that is 64 millimeter. So when you've done that, then you can drop your ruler, then transfer that measurement to what you are doing on the board. So you place it at A. Remember, we are starting with this AC. So you start from A. You always start from the first letter to the other one, okay? So when we have AC, you start from A and go to C. Are we together? All right, so you place it here and cut that arc of C. So you do something like this. All right, so you can see that those two arcs intersect at a point. All right, you see that they intersect at this point. All right, so that point becomes what? Point C. All right, so all you need to do to finish up your work is to carry your ruler and join A to C. And also join B to C. Alright? So when you're done with this, you can use the eraser to remove the unwanted lines. You can remove these lines, alright? Since it's not needed, to make your work look what? Very neat. Alright? So that is one part of the question. The second part of the question said we should describe a cycle to touch the three sides of the triangle. Let me skip this part of the question now. To describe a cycle to touch the three sides of a triangle. In our next class, we are going to look into that. Alright, let me just go into this example 2. Now it says, with your ruler, pencil, and a pair of compass, construct a triangle PQR with PQ 80 mm, angle PQR 60 degree, and angle QPR as 45 degree. Alright, so the normal thing, you make a rough sketch first. You have something like this, and you are asked to construct angle PQR, right? Yes. So now you see that we are going to start now. So you start with PQ, which serves as the baseline. Alright, so you draw your horizontal line. Yes, we've drawn our horizontal line. So after drawing your horizontal line, make reference to the question given to you. PQ, which serves as the horizontal line, is 80 mm. Okay? So you pick a point which serves as your P. Alright? Then you pick 80 mm with your compass. Alright? The same way we did before. When you pick 80 mm, then you simply transfer it to your construction from P. Alright? Let's assume this is our 80 mm, then you cut the line. Alright? So you can see that you cut here. So we'll call that point Q. Alright? So when you are done with that, you can see that the other information given to us are the angles PQR 60 degree and QPR as 45 degree. Now whenever you are given something like this, you always take note of the letters in between the angle given. Alright? So you have that, you see that you have three letters here, PQR. So the one at the middle is Q. So you find out that angle must be at where? Q. Alright? The same thing here. When you have angle QPR, you find out that the angle will fall where? At the point where? P. Alright? So let's continue. So since you have your PQ here, you are going to go to the next one, constructing angle PQR. So you see that our Q is here, and this is where the angle is going to what? Fall. Alright? So let's extend this line back again, because we may need it for our construction. So when you are done with that, you just pick any radius of your choice, that is any distance on your compass, and place it at point Q. Alright? When you've done this, any radius of your choice, you draw a semicircle. You draw a semicircle touching the base line, alright, two sides. Alright? So when you're done with this, don't change the radius of the compass you've used to draw this circle. Alright? So you see that you touch here at, let's say, I, and touch this other part at II. Alright? So you place it at I, since you want to get the interior angles, okay? Place the pin of your compass at I, then you bisect the semicircle. Alright? You've seen that. So you see that it cuts the semicircle at that point. So all you just need to do is to pick your ruler and draw a line passing through point P and the intersection of that arc and the semicircle. Alright? So when you have done that, you can use a protractor and now check. This angle must be 60 degrees. Alright? So we are done with that. Alright? So you can see that this line traveling up will give us our point R. So our point R will be somewhere around there. But we can't determine that yet. We are going to construct the next angle, which is angle QPR. And that is given to be what? 45 degrees. So let's do that. So for us to construct angle 45 degrees without the use of the protractor, you place the pin, just pick any radius of your choice, just like what we did here. Pick any radius, place it at point P, okay? When you place it at point P, then you also draw a semicircle, alright? Are we together? Or you can just cut these two lines, the baseline, at two sides, alright? So let's call this part I and IV, okay? So when you're done with that, you can bisect this distance, that is distance I to IV, alright? So how do you bisect? When we talk about bisect, that's to divide something into two equal parts, alright? So for us to bisect this now, we'll place it at I. Pick any radius of your choice with your compass, place it at I, that point, alright? Any radius, then you draw an arc, alright? Use that same radius, don't change it, don't shake it. Place it at IV and cut the arc, alright? So when you're done with that, you can see that we have the intersection of two arcs there. Join that intersection to point P, maybe with a thin line, okay? Because it's part of your construction line. You must show all construction line, remember. Now, since you are done with that, you will agree with me that this angle is angle what? 90 degrees, alright? So how do you get 45 degrees? You bisect angle what? 90 degrees. So when you bisect this 90 degrees, you are going to get what? 45 degrees. So let's do that quickly. So for us to do that, you can call this part where this semicircle cut this vertical line V, okay? You can call this part V. Are we together? Now you pick any radius of your choice, or you can pick more than half the distance of this angle. More than half the distance of this angle, okay? You can see that this is more than half. The half should be somewhere around here, okay? So when you pick this, then you place it at IV, you draw an arc, alright? Sorry, the marker is not that clear on the board, but I believe you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so you have that arc there. Then you turn it to the other side where you have V. You can see what I'm doing. Then you cut that arc. Alright, so you see that there's still an intersection of two arcs there too, giving you a point. Alright, so all you need to do is to join point P through the intersection of those two arcs. Sorry, I've made a mistake there and I have to correct it. So you join this way. Yeah, you can see that. Alright, so when you are done, you see that you don't need this line again, so you can reduce it with your eraser. You have point R here, alright? Then you have this angle to be 45 degrees. So when you are done with all this construction here, you make the side that are given and the angles visible enough. So you can use your ruler to make the line visible enough, okay? So you make your line visible. Don't do it freehand, please. Try to use your ruler, okay? Use your ruler to make those lines visible. And remember that this point line PQ is given here to be what? 80 millimeters. So don't forget to put your dimension when you are done. So from here to here must give you 80, okay? Sorry. Alright, so you have from here to here PQ, alright, which is 80 millimeter. We have 80. Don't write the millimeter since all dimensions are in millimeter. And make sure that 80 doesn't touch the dimension line, okay? Alright, so that is all for today. I have an assignment for you here. You have to construct a right angle triangle giving the adjacent side as 42 millimeter and the hypotenuse as 78 millimeter. All right, and you have the second one here. You're asked to construct a triangle given BC 85 millimeter. All right, you have the AC 45 millimeter, and you have triangle BCA as 75 degree, and also angle ABC as 45 degree. Now, when you're done with that, you're going to measure and state the length of line what? AB. Alright, so that is all for today. When we come next time, we'll look at how to inscribe and circumscribe a circle into a triangle. Okay, so make sure you stay safe until we see you again. Thank you very much.